Okay, so you were having some students that were having trouble finding the main idea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did they do with finding important details?
It was hard.
It was
hard.
was even hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've worked with some students as well who had difficulty finding not only the important details, but also then putting the details together to come up with a main idea. So I have a bunch of different things that I'd like to show you. We found highlighting helps tremendously with important ideas, and working on highlighting keywords or phrases versus a whole paragraph.
It's easier to focus on.
Exactly, and then it's a quick look back at the text when they're filling out their graphic organizer.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing that with consistent use will help them identify the ideas and then hopefully connect that to the main idea. So here was a story about Tale of Tales and talking about the both what T-A-L-E and T-A-I-L, what those different type of tales mean, and then the uses, and then the graphic organizer down here was leveled. So some is fully filled out, so students could either check their answer or use this as a discussion with peers and kind of keep them on track.
Yeah.
This one is partially filled out, so they come up with the main idea of the whole article, and then the main idea of each paragraph, and the supporting details are provided. This one is the opposite. So you have the main idea of the article, and then the main idea of each paragraph, but then the students have to come up with the details. So in a way, this can act as a self-checking tool, where so if they're talking about how an animal protects themselves, under the paragraph that talks about daily activities, they can see that it doesn't relate to what they're talking about, and that may help them organize their ideas a little better.
Yeah.
And then this one is a kind of a combination of the other three, where it's a fill in the blank. So the students still have a lot of support from the language and text here, but then they're also able to fill in words to finish the phrases for both the main idea and the supporting details. And this helps a lot. I had a lot of success with students who truly, truly struggle with both components of it. This is
interesting.
Yes, I loved this when I saw it. And this one would be, you would kind of start full text.
Yeah. And then going to that.
Fade to this. And then fade to the details.
Yeah.
And then have them fill in the main idea. Sometimes I found working backwards, having them focus on the details and talking about what the details had in common, helped them think about the main idea of the paragraph versus starting with the main idea.
Because that's hard to kind of come up with sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so big, and then you're working down to the smaller parts. Well, why not start small and go big?
Yeah.
So this, I found, these two were fantastic with students who were struggling, and gave them the confidence to maybe try one or two of these. If this even was overwhelming to fill out, I found even filling in the bottom and having them just fill in one of the top or the middle, have them choose if they wanted, and then kind of build up that way.
Yeah.
So these I really liked.
I like them.
And then there's a completely blank one for those students who are really mastering this
they
skill.
kind of got up to that. And
Yep.
It's a challenge, but they could do it.
Exactly. And then going along with it, so once they come up with the main idea, then they can almost write a small paragraph essay about the story using these graphic organizers to help them map out their writing. So it connects the reading and writing, which is perfect.
Yep.
Especially for students 5th, 6th, 7th, if they're really struggling, that age range. And with my special ed students, with some modification, this is fantastic.
Yeah, they can do it.
Yep. And this is just another example of how breaking down the important ideas and then coming to a summary of what the overall main idea of the text is.
So you're kind of starting small again and then going to big.
Exactly. And I've had much more success this way than doing it the other way.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And when the students are highlighting, the important ideas here, It's a quick, easy reference back.
Yeah.
And then, so it's building their confidence while they're going up and to tackle the larger, more challenging part of it. For students who are probably mid-range, who can benefit from this, but who also could look back at the text in their highlighted sections to summarize it more in their head. There was an activity that for a passage that I came across that had first identify the first and last event in a story, identify a character in the story, and talk about a character trait. What was an important achievement that the character had in the story and why, and then it goes to a 4-sentence summary of the text. So you can see the building, how the questions build on one another to lead to the summary. And then the last question was, based on the summary you wrote, what is the main idea of the passage? So this is clearly more advanced, but it at least gives you a point of reference as to where students will be going.
Where they can go from it.
Or for students who are above, more advanced than the students in your class who maybe could try this. It doesn't have to be 4 sentences. It could be 2. And I really found the questions 1, 2, and 3 guided well to this summary and then the main idea. So, and this will be done a lot in adolescent literacy, middle schools type. So, that was another wonderful thing. And for students who have trouble writing, there's this great website called Quia, and you can just Google finding the main idea. They read a short passage, and then down below it says this story mainly tells.
So then they can
point down, and then they can scroll through and choose. So let's choose one. Check answer. And we chose the correct answer. Let's see what it looks like when we choose the incorrect answer. The next one. Oh, well, apparently I chose the correct one again. Let's try another one. Okay, I chose the correct. If you do choose, I'm trying to specifically choose the wrong one. If you do choose the wrong answer, it comes back again and it gives you a score. And it will bring you back again and kind of give you a quick description about it. This one says that there's 40 questions to the activity, but you can just narrow it down because 40 is a lot.
That's a lot,
I've even done this with students as kind of like a Jeopardy activity where this is projected up on a smart board or the whiteboard even, and take turns and say, okay, finding the main idea, question 1, and all the questions are about the same value.
That's a great idea.
But it's interactive.
Right.
It keeps them moving.
It's more fun. It just keeps them going.
Social learning with their peers and technology. So you're kind of touching bases on all of those. There is one more website I just want to show you really quickly. Let's see, where is it? This one's called the Hamburger Game. Definitely more for the younger student. But they have the option of you clicking on the sentence and it reads it to you.
Our dog is fat.
So you click on it. If it's difficult to read, you get the recording, and say you choose the right one.
Our dog is fat.
You drag it over.
Correct.
And it tells you if it's correct. So it's immediate feedback, a lot of reinforcement auditorily for students who have difficult reading, even students with dyslexia, because that in itself can be a lot to process. So they're still able to practice the skill. So you just could click on one.
Sean swam in a race last year.
And go to the next
Sean
one.
swam in a race last year. He swims almost every morning.
And you can also see how it focuses on inflection and fluency. So it's a great, quick activity to practice main idea while building a hamburger. Better for younger kids. And then one more I wanted to show you really quickly. Here we go. This one, where'd it go? So just something a little more basic. Read the paragraph. What's the main idea? More of a multiple choice.
Yeah.
But it's good practice because in a couple years, the Common Core state standards will have, I think it's called, begins with a P, a different type of assessment, but it's going to be more computer-based assessment.
Oh, wow.
So even just getting students to focus on the strategy of identifying the main idea, but then answering correctly online is another good aspect to practice. So you just, again, read the passage, choose the answer, and a little box. Sorry, that's incorrect.
Yeah.
And then if you click here, it explains why the answer is the correct answer. So just again, real interactive activities involving technology, and then allowing students to work together as teams, individually, and hopefully working on strengthening their main idea and supporting detail strategies.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, or is this pretty good?
I think it's great.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite ones, this layout.
Yes.
I love this.
Mhm.
I think this is a great idea. It's a great tool to have, especially the progression of it,
Right.
especially with kids who have a rough time.
And even if you wanted to do it as a whole class, you could
Yeah.
do sentence strips and just set it up the same way, and it could be easily modified for any story.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad this helps then.
It really
Let me
helps.
know how your kid, if it ends up helping those kiddos you were having some trouble
No,
with.
I will, definitely.
Great. Thank you.
No, thank you.